Hello, I'm Dr. Rhoberta Shaler, the Relationship Help Doctor, and I wanted to talk to you today about passive-aggressive behavior. Because we hear that term, we think we know what it means. Often we do know what it means, but there are refinements on it. And passive-aggressive behavior gives you that icky feeling when it happens, like, what, am I that confused? Did I have everything wrong? It's almost like gaslighting when we're around hijackals and difficult people. And that surely doesn't work well. Just turn my phone off there. It doesn't work well, because what passive-aggressive behavior is about being indirect, not really stepping up, going around the corners or coming in the back door, or doing something that avoids a confrontation, avoids actually talking about the real issue, will just step around it, and there's inherent blame. Like somehow you wanted to talk about an incident, you wanted to talk about an interchange that happened, and you come quite reasonably and say, can we talk about this? And somehow the person cuts you off and makes it all your fault, and you're left hanging there. You know, I've written 2 books on passive-aggressive behavior. They're on Amazon. Just look up my name and remember to spell Rhoberta with R-H-O. And one of them is called Stop That's Crazy Making, How to Quit Playing the Passive-Aggressive Game. The other one is a book about hijackals and the hidden meaning and the hidden anger in passive aggression. So have a look at those. I won't talk a whole lot about that here, but I just had this thing happen in my life. And before I tell you about that, I just want to tell you that in the books, I use this example. So I'll shortcut this by giving this example. There was a person who said to her husband, I have to go out of town on Monday morning to speak. And this person was me. and I said, and I'm coming in late Saturday night and I won't be able to pick up my dry cleaning. Would you be able to pick up the dry cleaning so I have a fresh suit to wear on Monday? And he said, well, yeah, sure, I can do that. And I said, so you're really sure, because I don't have any other way to do it. And if you'll do it, I would be really grateful, but otherwise I'll make other plans. Of course I'll do it. So I came home late Saturday night. I looked for my suit. I said, where's my suit? I went to my husband at the time. He's no longer my husband. I went to my husband at the time and I said, I can't find my suit. He said, don't you think I have better things to do than do your errands for you? Okay, passive aggression, didn't want to tell me up front that he did not want to pick up the dry cleaning. So he agreed to pick up the dry cleaning. Then when I confronted him about not picking up the dry cleaning, all of a sudden it's my fault. Like, how could I be so silly as to ask him to do this, to confirm with him that it was all right with him, and then expect him to follow through? Silly me. What was I thinking? So today I just wanted to bring up another example. You might know from last week's video that I did on what boundaries are not, that I was talking about an interchange that I had with someone who gave me the opportunity to see how I could tell you about this and how it'd be helpful to you. And so today I want to give you a further example, because as soon as I finished doing the Facebook Live last week on what boundaries are not, then I got another email from this same person. And if you've watched the other video, and I hope you will, she was demonstrating that she thought that she had the right, somebody I don't know, I was just having a first meeting with, she had the right to tell me how I needed to be in order to be in integrity. Now, that was the beginning of passive aggression that was occurring there in a very strange way, and I'll show you how that happened. So I wanted to use that as an example of what happened. So, catch you up. This woman and I had an appointment on video at 10 a.m. And at 9:58, I went to go into the Zoom room and have the video, and lo and behold, the magic of Windows 10 had decided to update my computer at that exact moment. Now, you know, you can't do anything about that except wait. So at 10:06, I wrote as soon as the computer was up, and my cell phone happened to be dead, so I couldn't even call her. And I said, I'm here, and I know that we had a half-hour scheduled, so I'm here, and I'd be happy to talk with you now because my computer went down. So I got the email from her that said, I don't wait for people. I hold myself to a high standard of integrity, and when people don't show up, I just move on. So if you'd like to reschedule, know that. And I talked about that in that last video. So here's the email that I got from her after I did the Facebook video. And I want you to notice how passive aggressive it is, how she turns everything to be my fault and to make it so that there are absolutely no moments when she could take responsibility for anything. And I'm going to annotate it so that you get it. So she said, I also should tell you that after she had her little rant about integrity, I just simply sent an email and said, I don't think I'd like to continue this conversation. So here's the response. I'm sorry if you took offense to what I wrote. Okay, annotation. She's saying, it's your fault if you took offense. I'm sorry if that's what you chose to get out of my communication. In other words, she had no part in what she said that could possibly give offense. Do you see how that's passive aggressive? It sounds okay, and you may get confused when people say things like that. What if your partner says to you, I'm sorry you feel that way? In response to you saying, I need more respect, or I'd like more attention, or can we talk about the difficulty that we had because I'm feeling really left out here and hanging. And your partner says to you, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's passive aggression. Got that? Because you have that feeling, you know something didn't really sit right, and yet you may not realize that's passive aggression. So she said, I'm sorry if you took offense to what I wrote. It was not sent with malintent. Okay, so now she's justifying what she did, taking no responsibility for it. Then she said, since you are a relationship therapist and a mediator, I would think, so therefore she's making decisions about who I am and how I am, I would think you would always want to have your relationships clear instead of occurring dismissive. So she's decided who I am and what I want and how I prefer to have my relationships. Do you see that? She's not talking about me. She's not learning about me. She is not interested in me. She is telling me about her. And so she says, get this, this also incorporates karma. Whoa, what a backhanded thing to say. So the suggestion is that if I don't continue the conversation, I am creating bad karma. Do you see how incredibly passive-aggressive this is? And it only gets better. Here she goes on. What I typically do, because I practice having integrity, and if I know I will not be able to be my word, even if it's occurring small, I get creative and find other ways to communicate, especially if my computer is down. I use my cell phone or send smoke signals. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, do you see the passive aggression in there? Like she knew my computer was down. She knew my cell phone was dead. So she pretends to be laughing about sending smoke signals. A little recognition that there was nothing that I could do. However, she has a superior way to do things. That's also a key of passive aggression. And then she ends with, regardless, if you don't feel you want to talk, the ball is in your court. Okay. No flies on me. I'm not taking any responsibility for one thing that happened. And now, if you would like to speak to me, you'll have to do something about it. And then the final blow of passive aggression, she says, have a wonderful day. Do you get it? Have you had an email like that? Have you been left feeling like, ooh, there's something wrong with this, but you're not really quite sure? It's really important to understand what passive-aggressive behavior is. Because when you can do that, you can then respond. Now, I choose not to respond to this person. The first time I met her, I did not care for the energy. But as I said on my previous video, I believe what Abraham Lincoln said. He said, I don't much like that man. I'd better get to know him. So I thought, okay, first impressions, maybe not great. Maybe she's insecure. Maybe she's not feeling really comfortable here, and she's presenting herself in a way that is giving me this read on her energy. And so here's the next step. And the third step, getting this email. So next time I'll just believe my intuition and not take Lincoln's advice because I don't really need this. But it did give me the opportunity to talk to you about what passive-aggressive behavior really is. It's indirect communication to avoid taking responsibility for anything. It will show up as procrastination. Well, I didn't quite get to it. You shouldn't be pressing me. It will show up as just dragging their feet to make a decision, not just procrastinating, but, well, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know. What do you want to do? Nobody wants to be wrong. It shows up in so many ways. So I just wanted to share that with you this morning. You can go to Amazon and see my books. Remember, just put my name in it. Rhoberta is spelled R-H-O-B-E-R-T-A, Shaler, S-H-A-L-E-R. You can find all my books there, but the ones on passive-aggressive, if this is striking a chord with you and go, whoa, I get a lot of that. You get it at work, you get it at home, you get it from your children. You want to nip it in the bud. It's not that you can change other people, but you can change the way you respond and the quickness with which you recognize what's going on. And oh, by the way, don't be saying that's passive-aggressive, because that won't work. Remember, I've talked so much about how you give a personal weather report. That's all outlined in my book, Kaizen for Couples, how to give a personal weather report so your communication is in integrity and without blame, so that you can be as clean as possible in your communication and your intent in your relationships. I hope this is helpful to you. It certainly was clarifying for me to go through this experience with this person. And remember that you can always communicate with me. Go to my page. You're on it right now. Like the page so that you can come back. And I often do Facebook Lives, but if you have a question, you can put it in the comments below and I'll answer it in another email or in another video. And also, if you happen to be with a hijackal, one of those toxic, difficult people in life, and you want support or ideas, or you want strategies and skills, go and join my Facebook group, Optimize Life. You'll get some help there. Talk soon.